Hello everyone, my name is Trevor, I go by TheMrTrails, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are going to update the unkillable builds that I did on the channel previously. Ever since the cell recategorization, the exact build I used in the video does not work. Additionally, the build that was actually ended up featured in the video was a tiny bit Papega, so we'll go ahead and fix that. Consider dropping a like for me, and if you're new, subscribe to the channel for more Dauntless content. So, there are going to be two versions of the build. There's going to be the Adrenaline Endurance version, and then there's going to be the non-adrenaline version. Now, the main intent of these unkillable builds are to use them in heroic escalations, but this exact version you wouldn't want to use in heroic Terra escalation like this week. Main reason you don't want to use a Terra weapon in there is because Agorist, it's very important to have a high power modifier against Agorist. Being that it's the only escalation boss that gets free access to healing, the Adrenaline Endurance version of this build is only really open to the weapons that can utilize it, meaning we have Warpike, Chain Blades, Strikers, and Axe mostly, and then Sword somewhat. But the other version, Repeaters and Hammer, would be the main two that you would want to be using it on. But let's go over to the build. We're going to be using the Iceborne Omnicell for this one with the Skarn Lantern. We're going to run Catalyst for the intent of being in heroic escalations. We're going to use the Agorist weapon with Endurance and Parasitic inside with the Skarn Bond. The special and mod are going to depend on the weapon you use it on. Again, you can use this version of the build on Chain Blades, Strikers, Pike, Axe, and Sword. For the armors, we have the Skarn Helmet with Tough inside, we have the Scrave Jacket with Adrenaline inside, we have the Stormclaw Gloves with Endurance inside, and we have the Charog Boots with Tenacious inside. For the tonics, I would recommend Aether Drive, Blitz, and Frenzy to keep the Skarn Lantern up for longer, as well as dealing more damage and having all of that juicy attack speed. So our perk summary on this build is 6 Adrenaline, 6 Catalyst, 6 Endurance, 6 Tenacious, 6 Tough, 3 Parasitic, and 3 of the Weapon perk, which is Weighted Strikes here, and Knockout King on the heavier weapons. As for the non-adrenaline version of this build, we would be replacing Adrenaline and Endurance with Cunning and Overpower, but if you are running Heroic Escalation with these builds, then Overpower isn't the best cell to run here. You can replace it with a Rage Hunter with the Gnasher Gloves, or you can go with the Chara Gloves with a 3 Rage, and then you can throw in a Zeal to make your Lantern do a little bit more damage. But if you just want to be unkillable in like your regular hunting, then Overpower is fine here. We're again going to be rocking the Iceborne Omnicell with the Skarn Lantern and Catalyst. And if you don't want to run Catalyst, you can throw a Molten in here, and then you can swap the Catalyst that's in the weapon with any other cell you want to. Here, we would be running the Agorist weapon again. This would be mainly for like Hammer and Repeaters, and then Sword with Recursive Hilt as the mod. Inside the weapon, we're going to have Catalyst and Parasitic and the Skarn Weapon Bond again. For the armor, we have the Skarn Helmet with Tough inside, we have the Thrax Chest with Cunning inside, we have the Torgadoro Gloves with Overpower inside, and we have the Charog Boots with Tenacious inside. Tonics again, Aether Drive, Blitz, Frenzy, keep the Skarn Lantern up longer, deal more damage, have more attack speed. So the perk summary for this version of the build is 6 Catalyst, 6 Cunning, 6 Overpower, 6 Tenacious, 6 Tough, 3 Parasitic, and 3 Weighted Strikes or Knockout King. Then if you were to replace the Overpower with Rage Hunter, it would just take Overpower's spot. With these builds, you have a lot of HP and a lot of shield. Tough will get you to 1600 HP, using the Iceborne Omnicell will get you to 1700 HP. Using the Skarn Lantern and the Skarn Weapon will be able to get you 1200 shield, meaning that you will have up to 2900 effective HP when you haven't taken damage recently. On the weapons where you are utilizing Adrenaline and Endurance heavily, you are not going to have a ton of stamina all of the time, meaning you won't really be able to dodge. However, this will still be fine even if you lose all of your shield. As soon as you take actual damage and you start dealing damage again, you will have a fairly fast HP regen. And if you're running Terra Escalation, you would just swap your weapon to the Malkarian weapon and still put the Endurance and the Parasitic in the weapon, and you would use whatever bond. You'd still have 2300 max effective HP here, and this would still be pretty good at keeping you alive. But that'll do it for me. I'll roll some footage of me getting bullied by some of the Heroic Escalation behemoths and show you how fast the HP regen on the build is. But that'll be it for me. Thank you guys for watching. I have been Trevor. I'll go by TheMrTrails, and I will catch you guys next time.